What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with today's transfer update, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. We're now less than 300 subs away from my aim of 45,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be great. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news. Also, don't forget, social media links are in the description. If you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok, email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up as well. We're aiming for 300 likes on the video, and do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. So we have no contract news. We're going to dive straight on in with the outs, and we've got the very latest on Juma Bah. Now, Hugo Guillemet, who is a French journalist, has said that Juma Bah prefers a move to OGC Nice this summer rather than a move to Olympique Lyonnais or Lyon. It appears that Nice have won the race despite an agreement being put in place from the Ryan Cherki transfer from Lyon to Manchester City. As part of that transfer, Man City have agreed for a player to be loaned out to Lyon. It thought it was going to be Juma Bah that was going to be that player that would be heading there on loan, but apparently Juma Bah, he prefers a move to OGC Nice. He prefers their project, and that's where he wants to go and spend the season out on loan rather than at Lyon. That might be down to first team opportunities. That might be he's feeling more of a vibe with Nice rather than Lyon. He might prefer to play his football under a different manager. It might be the case that he prefers their style. It could be a whole load of things that goes into transfers, and when it comes to two clubs offering the same terms, it's very much a preference about where a player wants to go. Man City definitely 100% have an agreement with Lyon about them loaning a player from the club, so it may be a case here that Lyon pick again and they do have to select another player to loan from Manchester City. We know that some questions have been asked about Claudio Echeverri. Now, I'm expecting before transfer deadline day for Claudio Echeverri to potentially leave Manchester City this summer on loan. If it's not going to be Echeverri and it's not going to be Juma Bah, which other player could it be? That would be very interesting. So do let me know your thoughts on that, guys, in the comments below. Now, the final transfer in the outs, we've got the very latest on Kevin De Bruyne. And Sam Lee has said that Kevin De Bruyne spent around a month contemplating his next move after he announced that he was leaving Manchester City. He chose Napoli due to getting more game time there, playing in a big league, and also by the fact that they're playing in the Champions League as well. He felt like Napoli was the best place for him to achieve his aim of going to the World Cup with Belgium next summer. He felt that Naples was a good city for him and his family as well. He did seriously consider making a move to Chicago Fire over in the United States and playing in the MLS, Inter Miami as well. However, Inter Miami couldn't free up space in their squad in time for this transfer, so that never materialised. That's why Inter Miami pulled out of the race to sign Kevin De Bruyne, and there was some murmurs about a small conversation was held between De Bruyne's camp and also Liverpool. However, it was just a small conversation and it never went any further than that, and Kevin De Bruyne decided Napoli was the place to be, and Napoli will be where Kevin De Bruyne will be playing his trade from next season. Kevin De Bruyne's contract with Manchester City up on June 30th, so from July 1st Kevin De Bruyne will officially have left Manchester City and will be a player for SSC Napoli. Now, moving on to the ins, I want to speak about Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and a new name for this window, but not new to our transfer updates. I've spoken about ter Stegen several times. So he's out of favour with Barcelona right now, after Barcelona have agreed a deal to bring in Joan Garcia from Espanyol. Manchester City were being linked with Joan Garcia earlier in this window. However, Barcelona have won that race. They've already activated the release clause, and Joan Garcia will be a Barcelona player, and he will be Barcelona's new goalkeeper. So it does mean that the future of ter Stegen has now been cast into doubt. The 33-year-old German goalkeeper more than likely will be looking for a new club, and German legend Lothar Matthaus has told Sky over in Germany that Manchester City would be the perfect place for Marc-Andre ter Stegen to spend the next 3 or 4 years to develop with Manchester City, to learn from Pep Guardiola Guardiola, who play a good style that would suit Ter Stegen. And I found what Lothar Matthaus was saying really peculiar and really interesting. Now, the problem here would be Manchester City negotiating a transfer with Barcelona, because right now Manchester City and Barcelona, when it comes to dealings off the field, aren't really seeing eye to eye, and I just can't see business being done between both Barcelona and Manchester City. But what is being reported here I do find really interesting. I do still think Ederson is going to leave Manchester City in this window. I don't think Manchester City will let both their goalkeepers, both Ederson and Stefan Ortega Moreno, leave in this window. I don't think that is going to happen. I think that I can see Ederson, he's been strongly linked with a move to Saudi Arabia, and I think if Saudi Arabia come calling once the Club World Cup ends and they do put in a good offer to Manchester City for Ederson, I can see Ederson saying, I want to leave Manchester City and I want to go to Saudi Arabia. There are a lot of Brazilian players that play in Saudi Arabia. Do not underestimate the pull that Saudi Arabia has on the Brazilian players. There's lots of Ederson's international teammates that play in Brazil. A lot of his Brazilian friends as well will be playing in Saudi Arabia too. So there's a big pull there, along with him getting paid a heck of a lot of money, with a lot of that money being tax-free as well. It appeals to a lot of players. It in particular seems to be appealing to a lot of Brazilian players, because Brazilian players are, when it comes to players outside of Saudi Arabia, the most common player that they've got in the Saudi Pro League. So I can see that transfer happening as long as there is interest, and I do still believe that interest is there in Ederson from teams in Saudi Arabia. It was there last summer. They weren't willing to pay the Manchester City price for Ederson, which was set at around £50 million. It's going to obviously be much less this summer, because Ederson has only 12 months left on his Manchester City contract, and the same with Stefan Ortega as well. He's also got 12 months left on his City contract, and it is something that does need sorting sooner rather than later. If it doesn't get sorted in this window, it definitely needs sorted in the next window, because both our goalkeepers, both first choice and second choice, are going to be out of contract, and they're going to leave the club for free. So Man City can still accumulate a lot of money for Ederson. Ederson, if he does want to leave and gets that interest from Saudi Arabia, I can see that transfer happening, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. I'm just not sure I see it being Ter Stegen, with the relations between both Manchester City and Barcelona off the field. And of course, Manchester City have heavily been linked with a move for Diogo Costa from FC Porto. And we do have a very quick update on Diogo Costa as well. And this is coming from a Bola over in Portugal. It says Diogo Costa is expected to leave FC Porto this summer, with both Manchester City and Manchester United very interested. He has a release clause set at around 75 million euros, so we're looking at over 60 million pounds. It is believed though that a deal could be negotiated to just over 50 million pounds or 60 million euros. The 25-year-old Portuguese number one is definitely of interest to Manchester City, and it is believed by those closest in the circle of Diogo Costa that he would be interested and does want to leave FC Porto, and he wants to go to England. He wants to play in the Premier League, and it would make a lot of sense here for Manchester City to make that move. Be interesting to see if Manchester United decide to match Manchester City, and if they want to make a move as well, because if it does, I don't know what that's going to mean for Manchester United's goalkeeper Onana. They'd have to sort that out, just like City need to sort theirs out with Ederson and what's happening with Ortega. So really interesting when it comes to the goalkeepers. I'd love to know your thoughts, guys, of this in the comments below. So do let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on the video. We're aiming for 300 likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Remember, I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. Social media links as well, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.